Hello, beautiful people.
I'm Brynn.
And I'm Miranda.
And you're listening to
the Esty Besties podcast.
We are estheticians based out of Delaware trying to navigate our early 20s in the world of aesthetics, business, beauty, and wellness. We're grinding every day to live the life that we want.
We started this podcast to create a chill and inspiring environment to chat about everything from lifestyle, careers, beauty, spirituality, and story times from our day-to-day lives as estheticians and entrepreneurs.
This podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
But follow our official Instagram and TikTok at Esty Besties Podcast.
And follow our individual Instagrams at DeCourcy Beauty Lounge and at DeCourcy Beauty.
And at MKM Beauty Bar. Grab your coffee or wine, depending on what time of day you're listening.
And let's get into the next episode. Okay.
All right. The official cheers, the start of a new podcast.
Episode 14.
Episode 14.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute. We've missed the
2
last
weeks ago.
episode. So
it's really been a month.
Yeah, we haven't been an episode in a month. But we're back.
We're back.
We're back. And we're better.
Ever.
Yes, exactly. Today's episode is going to be all about energy. We're going to talk about basically giving yourself an energy check. Yes. Whatever that means for you.
Yeah. Understanding what exactly energy is, how it falls into the treatment room and outside of it, and just understanding ourselves spiritually.
Yeah, spiritually. I think it also plays directly into like your business. That's what we're trying to kind of loop this into is spirituality as an esthetician, as a business owner, like how to make sure that you're good every day and you're not putting shit on other people or letting the other people that are putting shit on you really affect you.
Yeah.
You got to like have a strong, energetic shield around yourself in order to just be a human at this point.
Yeah. Because what we do for our careers is very personable and it's very intimate.
Yeah. We're one-on-one, like all day with our, with our clients.
Different people.
It might be something like brows, which is 20 minutes, but you're still getting that one-on-one. But then if you have something like a full set, which is like, it can go up to 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
That's like pretty intimate time with someone.
It is. It's a lot of time to exchange energy.
It is. Absolutely. First, we'll start with just talking about knowing yourself, which is, I think, the most important in just life is know yourself, know what you want, know how to protect yourself, know your boundaries.
Yeah. Understand your morals and maintaining your integrity.
Maintaining your integrity, we could talk about business owners, whatever, but I think in this beauty industry, it can get really just like, it can just be emotionally kind of
get spicy.
Tough. Yeah, I don't know the exact word for it, but it can get spicy.
Yeah, between like the long work hours, constantly taking on clients and whatever issues they spill to you that day, and taking on competition, taking on being able to stand out from the competition around you a lot.
Comparing yourself.
It's a lot mentally.
Yeah, it definitely is. So you have to know yourself first and foremost so that you can maintain your integrity as an esthetician, so that you can align with your moral compass, so that you can stick to your boundaries, don't stretch outside of your comfort zone with your boundaries with people. Yeah. And it all comes back to knowing yourself and being in touch with your spirit, entity, energy, whatever you identify with.
And I feel like our moral compass is definitely always putting the client first. Comfort is first for us. Yeah. Like, we're so big on the experience. Like, we give amazing services, like our lashes, brows, facials on fleek, but the experience, because the client is here for sometimes such long periods of time, we want to make sure that their comfort level is at 100. They're experiencing scents. We offer them refreshments. Like,
they're getting
I feel like that's a big part of our morals is we want to make sure the client's as comfortable as possible.
Yeah, it also goes back to like just our love languages. Like, we like to like make people feel good. And I don't know. I think it definitely depends on where you want to go with your business. Obviously, like some people are all about the service. Like, it's just like, you come in, we don't really talk, like, you get the service, I listen to my podcast in my ears, you go to sleep, like, which is great. Like, no judgment towards either way at all. But
that's really funny you bring up love languages, because now that I think about it, we offer like all love, like, so like sense of touch, like just like I'm very personal with my clients. Like if I'm talking to them or like
to,
in the treatment room, like for comfort purposes and to help them relax, and gift giving. We literally give free candy and stones and crystals and refreshments and snacks.
Which is like an offering.
Yes. And then like words of affirmations. Just constantly calling my clients pretty. We do all of it. I love it. That's funny.
I love that. But I think that that's what helps us stand out, I would say, is being able to do that for people and like give them an immersive experience along with getting a great service. I think that's why we have like such loyal clients. That's why people have such great things to say about us. Like I think that's like the key for us.
Because we cover all the grounds when it comes to being a service provider.
But I think that like, yes, that's just our personality, but at the end of the day, like that kind of falls back on like our spirituality and like who we are and what we believe in. Like if we didn't believe in the things we believe in, we might not be as kind and generous and compassionate to other people. So I think that's like the root of it. But then on top of that, it's just experiences, personalities, whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, that all falls back into knowing yourself and understanding what you can give to people and how you can perceive what people give to you.
It's all like a
give and take,
exchange.
100%. That's like, why I'm such a firm believer in karma.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Is it comes back on our moral compass and our values of like we believe in karma, so we're not gonna give out any bad.
Exactly. We're going to go out of our way to put good into this world.
Exactly.
Okay, so what does spirituality mean exactly? And I feel like everybody has a different definition to it.
That's why I wanted to ask this question or talk about this question, is because I feel like obviously today we're speaking from our perspective, our personal definition of spirituality, but I didn't realize that the word spirituality encompasses like everything.
Like
it's every like religion uses the word spirituality.
I was gonna say religion falls under spirituality. Any practices, any prayers, any kind of, it's all spiritual. You know,
you're talking to the spirit. You're trying to connect to spirit.
Yeah,
and that spirit is what is different for everyone. Oh, the light went off. It's okay. But yeah, that spirit is what's different for everyone. So. This could be such a tangent episode where we could do a whole episode just talking
about our definition of spirituality. But we'll make it short. Make it short. So so me personally, spirituality is a connection to something that's greater than you, you know, understanding and having, well, not understanding, but having just like a belief in
something.
Yes, something is bigger than you. Like the world doesn't revolve around you. And for me personally, though, that means like everything. Like I love praising plant life, animals, kind human beings. Like I'm very emotionally and spiritually attached to water in particular. Like I'm a big ocean girl. I love nature. Like that's spirituality to me. And also understanding that all of these things I listed were all creations from like nature.
Yeah.
That's my big attachment. It's definitely nature.
Yeah, I think so. Like, just a little side point here: the pagan religion, like being a witch, quote unquote, which that is an umbrella term for like hundreds of different branches. Yeah. But all of that, like when I was growing up, it was always like, oh, that's so dark, and that's like it's Satan and evil, demonic. But then it's like, when you really learn about it, it's all about nature.
When you educate yourself.
Beautiful.
Yes, it's all about medicinal, utilizing nature and things that, if you believe in God, that God's grown on this earth for you to utilize for your health, for your religion, you know?
That's why I don't understand the argument with like crystals like being negative or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you believe in God, it's always the people that believe in God that say that believe in like the Christian God or the whatever. It's like, if you believe that God made everything on this earth, then like why do you hate against the use of crystals?
If God created them, like they're literally from crystals, are from nature, right? I mean, there are human-made crystals, but they're not the real ones.
But they're not the ones that you use for energy, like,
right?
It's just so weird.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. A lot of that doesn't make sense, but
I know.
Whatever. So I feel like, me specifically, I am not someone who calls myself like religious, but I'm someone who calls myself spiritual.
Right.
And I think that knowing that and being confident in that and being able to like confidently speak to people and be like, this is what I believe in. And I don't share with everyone. I've learned that that's like not important. Like I don't need to, because a lot of people don't really understand to a certain extent. I share it with who I feel like will be receptive. If that makes sense.
Or like relatable.
Yeah, relatable. Yeah. But through clients, through experiences, conversations with clients, I've gained such a broader perspective and understanding of like other people's spirituality. I love having clients with that follow different religions, and because I'm always asking them questions like, okay, so like what does this mean, and like what is this celebration that you do and whatever. It's so fascinating.
I feel like that's one of your best character traits too. It's like you're a sponge. You just want to learn, like, and you respect other people's beliefs.
Yeah,
like,
there's no like judgment.
Not at all.
Like,
I
just think it's
everything so fascinating that people believe in so many different things, but at the end of the day, it's like all the same.
I know, it's all the same. Okay, I love that there was one post that you reposted one time, and it was like, oh, I wish we could find it. It was like prayer, like we're all doing the same thing, but we're calling it different things. Like prayer versus manifestation, like God versus like spirit, like
going
like
to church, going to a temple, like
it's all relative, and like we have so much like judgment towards each other's, not we, but just as humans, like have so much judgment towards other people's choices, but it's like
at the end of the day, it's just all different symbolism. Like instead of holding a crystal, you're holding a Bible. Exactly. But it's like you're doing manifestation and prayer really go hand in hand.
Is the same thing. Like the inner intention is the same
being
feeling.
Vulnerable with whatever higher power you believe in. Like that's what it comes to at the end of the day.
I love talking about this.
Me too. Me too.
But okay, tying it back into like being in the beauty business or being an esthetician, like you don't have to believe in anything. Like we're not saying that, but I think being in touch with some sort of spirit entity that you can understanding energy. Yeah. Like you have to know how to apply that into your business and make yourself a better business owner, esthetician, whatever. Yeah. But also know the boundary of not like forcing it onto people or not like projecting any, like if you have very strong beliefs, I don't know. With us, it's like we're kind of fluid. We're like, I believe we go with the vibe, some of this, some of that.
And that's something else is like, if you don't understand the term energy, just think about like the vibe. And I'm talking in reference to being in the treatment room. Like understanding, like picking up on somebody's vibe. Like if they openly want to communicate to you about what they believe in, then go with it. And if it's something that you don't necessarily agree with, at least you're learning something.
Yeah, try to just learn about it. Like that's how I look at it. I'm like, I could disagree with everything you're saying, but I'm still just gonna ask questions.
Yeah,
like,
because I'm curious.
Okay, so what does that mean to you? Like, just try to dive into it deeper.
Exactly.
So, okay, at the core, knowing yourself, knowing what you believe in, knowing what maybe spirit to connect to when you need a little guidance, maybe knowing how to do like release rituals, letting go of bad energy, all of that stuff, super important. But let's now talk a little bit about like energy healing in the treatment room, like what you can do, what services you can do, how to incorporate that. What maybe some people do it without even knowing. Yeah.
I bet.
But yeah, let's talk a little bit about that.
Awesome. So energy at the end of the day, we're, like we said before, we are constantly exchanging energy because of how vulnerable our clients are with us, how intimate the services are, whether it is lashes, facials, or brows, no matter what it is, or even PMU, permanent makeup, like you're still exchanging energy. But we'll particularly talk about facials. So I've learned, like, a lot of clients come in here and they can feel anxious, right? A lot of my clients suffer from anxiety, depression, any kind of mental illness, and they come into a new space. It's absolutely beautiful. It can be a little overstimulating sometimes, and I understand that. My priority is to get them in my treatment room, get them to a calm state to where their entire body and mind is relaxed, no matter what the service I'm giving to them. So actually just recently I had a new client come in for a full set of lashes. So it took about 2 hours. Every time I would put a piece of tape on or even approach with my tweezers to apply a lash, she would kind of jump. And that is because her body right now is in fight or flight, which is something that I feel like everybody should be aware of, understanding being in and out of fight or flight modes. And this all comes from your nervous system. So some ways to kind of regulate your nervous system, we'll start with that, is deep breath exercises. So with this client, I had her take some...
Stop it.
With this client, I had her take some deep breaths just to kind of relax her mind and her body. And I could physically see like her muscles laying on the bed just kind of sink more into the bed. And I was like, yes, it works. Yes, utilizing deep breath exercises, even a little bit of like, if you want to just like, not like give them a full massage, but just like rub their shoulders. It brings comfort like a through the sense of touch. Yeah, the like making biscuits. Yes,
make some biscuits on their shoulders.
I'm cracking up. Even utilizing your sense of smell, so essential oils, like having a diffuser in your room could also just bring your clients so calm. And so to talk about the nervous system real quick. The nervous system basically controls your entire body. A lot of people don't know that. And when you're in fight or flight, right, your nervous system is overactive and your body can't do what it needs to heal itself. When I say heal, I mean everything from trauma to physical illnesses to diseases to even injuries. Like your nervous system sends signals to heal these parts of you that need attention. But if you're in fight or flight, your body doesn't do that.
Yeah. Think of like a little jar with all of these little like beads in there and you're just shaking it up. It's like they're all just vibrating in there. That's what it's like when you're in fight or flight.
Yeah.
When you're not, it's like everything's just kind of
settled.
slow and like flowing and everything's good. And if you have something traumatic that has happened to you, your body it can manifest into your body. Like it can manifest into physical ailments
100%.
or issues or whatever. And it just keeps getting worse.
Yeah.
Like you have to work on those things to get yourself out of fight or flight. That's like the one thing that I wish I could do for everyone is just
to
get
help
them out
people
of fight
just
or flight.
regulate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's been a big trend on social media talking about how women carry trauma in our hips.
Yes. That's
very relatable to what we're talking about. You've suffered some form of trauma and you might have stiff hips. My hips be cracking, okay? I got to do some mobility stretching every single morning to get moving. It's the same
thing.
Same thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people say like when they do certain stretches in their hips, like they'll physically react, like they'll emotionally release or start crying or screaming or whatever. And it's like deep built up trauma, whatever. We're getting off topic, but that is like the one thing that estheticians should know is how to help regulate the nervous system and how to get your client out of, you can't necessarily get them out of fight or flight.
Only they can do that.
Help them.
Exactly. And that you can do that by stimulating all their senses.
Yes.
So that's what I was talking about, like kind of just lightly kneading shoulders for sense of touch, using essential oils for smell, sound. So having just like relaxing, chill, vibey music.
Or do like a sound bath.
Or a sound bath. Yeah.
I also recently saw, I think we're going to add this here. So having headphones available for your clients, like over-ear headphones.
Aww.
And providing them, like you could do it as an add-on service or just offer it to them for free, but having guided meditations so that they can, like, if they're anxious, like they can have over-ear headphones, sensory,
it's
they're just
one
locked
thing
in,
to focus
eyes
on.
closed, guided meditation. Like if you fall asleep, great, but if you listen to it and just chill, that's great too. Like I think that could help for a lot of people.
That's such a good idea.
I thought that I heard that on I think it was a nail salon that did it. I was like, we should definitely do that.
We should do that.
So yeah, covering all the senses, I think is super important.
Yeah.
So we talked about sound.
Touch.
Okay. So touch, facials. I know like this episode, we're trying to group in all services, but like facials specifically is very easy to incorporate your energy healing into.
Yeah.
But it is inevitable with like lashes, brows, all that. So with facials are full of like touch therapy. There's so much therapy in just touch. Like
there is
just someone pressing on your chest like this.
Okay, so if you're listening right now, literally just take your hands and apply a little bit of pressure right in the center of your chest.
Like it just
you just
feels
feel
so good.
it feels comforting. And that's something that we don't do a lot of.
Yeah,
Just
and you
like,
notice like when anytime you're like scared or anything, you go straight.
Straight to your chest.
Like,
Like,
your chest.
yeah.
Like, there's a reason for that.
Right.
So touch therapy is so important. Facials is very easy because you're doing, you know, massage throughout the entire facial.
And that in itself is like relaxing.
That in itself, it's relaxing. It helps regulate your system, but also like the aspect of physical touch. A lot of people don't get that. Like it's hard to believe when you are in like a relationship that the physical touch is healthy, or you're in like a family where like you hug and physical touch is normal, but a lot of people don't have that at all. Like, they may be single, they may be in an unhealthy relationship where they're not being tenderly
or
loved.
it's just like for me growing up, I don't hug my family.
Yeah, it wasn't like a
it's
thing.
just not a thing. Yeah,
It wasn't a thing. So it's super important to, in a safe environment, provide someone safe touch where they don't feel like you're going to cross the boundary. They know that you respect them, and they know that like you're really there to just like make them feel
it's all
better.
out of just like love.
Facials, main way to do touch therapy, but brows and lashes, I would say the way that you incorporate some touch therapy into this is, like we said, before the service, if they need a little rub
if
on
you
their
notice that they're
shoulders.
just tense, just like, you don't got to give them a full massage. Just like put a little, a little touch on the shoulders.
Also with like hot and warm senses, like you can do maybe a hot towel under their neck. I have these little plastic baggies that like you can wrap it in and put that under their neck. That will help them calm down a lot. If they're having anxiety and they're running hot, give them a little ice globe to roll over their face.
I love doing that.
Like there's certain things you can do to make the experience better. And also just be gentle, like be soft. In school, we learned like entering and exiting on a client. So whether it's bracing the side of their face like this and actually like letting them know that you're entering, or a friend esthetician of ours told us that she rubs her hand on the towel just to give like an audible sensory that she's
you know, like, hey, I'm coming, I'm gonna touch you.
So just like allowing people to know in advance that you respect them, you're not trying to trigger them. Like I definitely have clients that are jumpy. Like they twitch, they flinch. And it honestly makes me really sad. Like it's one of those things that like pulls at my heartstrings a bit, because it just means that they're
you're
like
so anxious. I'm sorry.
But with them, I try extra hard to cover all the senses in a overload way, like
you don't want to overstimulate somebody,
but you're
little
really
by little
thinking like, what sounds would I want to hear if I was anxious, what
it's
feelings would I want to feel. Being intentional so important.
Definitely. And so smell is one of the last ones. So using a diffuser in your room, even like if you have like a private setting, a candle, or even like having putting essential oils on your hand, like, or on your wrist. On my wrist. And even like before you're about to do lashes, before you're about to do brows, like your hands are literally around their face and they're gonna smell it. That's a good idea.
I always
before every service, just a little essential oil on the wrist,
and it just smells good, but it also has a purpose. Like essential oil actually helps your body regulate. So I just feel like that's the perfect solution.
There you go.
We're also big on like smells here. Like we want people to say that it smells good when they walk into here.
That's
it's just
like the best
compliment. Someone actually yesterday told me that when they start walking on our block, they can smell our business.
Lady,
they were like, as soon as you hit the block, like you get a whiff of like the
City
good
of Wilmington
smell.
needs more of that.
I know.
Okay.
I know. So something that actually we got for here is it's a full like home diffuser that you can actually hook up to your HVAC through a little cord, and it's different essential oil blends that you can get. There's signature scents. There's like ones for every hotel.
It smells so good. Yeah, it's literally what hotels and resorts use to like stimulate that smell.
Yes. And that, I would say, just on a business note, that is like a great thing to do as a business, to have like a signature smell that like people, when they smell it, they're like, oh, I know that I'm here. Or I know it's just, that's another thing that you can add. But
I love it. We stimulate the senses here. If you haven't noticed. It's our thing.
So one of our services specifically that we have for energy healing in the treatment room is literally a 90-minute energy healing facial treatment.
Yes. It's becoming very popular.
Very popular.
All of our facials.
I love that everyone's like getting more into their spirituality and their energy.
Even people who aren't necessarily like educated on spirituality or like say that they're very religious, like they go to church, they pray to God, they still come here for the 90-minute energy healing facial.
Because energy isn't about like a god. Energy is about,
and I wish more people understood that.
Yeah, it's just about like being a human.
Yeah, it's healing.
Having emotions.
Right.
Yeah. But in the 90-minute energy healing facial, I'll just run over like a little bit of the protocol of like what we do during the facial. So we start by doing a consultation, and we try to figure out what they want to work on, whether it's just skin needs, that's totally fine. But if they have anything like they want to send an intention for, or I always have them pull an affirmation card and like try to get a guidance on like what their intention should be.
Yeah.
So we just kind of do some like speaking and conversating before. And then
And we ask them what their stress level is
on
the consultation form.
That's good too. Always ask the stress level. Oh, but before I bring the client into the room, I'll like cleanse the space. Like with my selenite, I'll just like run over the room, do what I gotta do, prep the room. And then we'll go into the facial. I'll have them get dressed, XYZ, the whole 9. But make sure they're like super comfortable. Tuck them in with 2 blankets if they want. Like give them a little extra, like
cozy.
Really, really relaxed. Then we'll do our, cleansing, exfoliating, all that stuff. The real like
stimulator
zhuzh of it all is the massage.
Yes.
That's like, we spend at least 20 minutes in a 90-minute facial
we go
on massage.
into the massage.
Which is the best thing ever. Majority of people like fall asleep or like nod off during this.
I love having the extra time to do the massage with the 90-minute energy healing, because we utilize our hands, but we also have tools like the guasa, and we have like our acupressure wand and our cold globes, and it's just so fun. And sometimes we do like hot stones, and it's really fun.
It's just such a, like, it gives you like the goosies. It's so good. So during that's like the huge part of the energy healing, because you're moving the lymphatic fluid, which that in itself can have some energy release while you're doing it.
Because it's tension in your face.
And then we'll go into the mask, and that's where we'll incorporate crystals into the facial. So we'll do a crystal grid, and this is where you have mini sized crystals of your favorite crystals, whatever. You are free to like make the blend of whatever you want. We typically break it up by...
I like utilizing the chakras.
Yeah.
Going down the chakras. And we basically use the information the client gives us prior to the service. Yeah. If they have anything that they're kind of going through, like if they're having a lot of stress at work or stress in their relationship, we can kind of gauge from there what chakras need work. And I like to pick crystals that resonate with those chakras, and I use that while they're masking.
So why would someone book this service? If someone's coming to you and asking like what this service is, like what would you tell them on why you would want this service or why you would need it?
Right. So I would tell them, of course, we're still doing a whole skin treatment, right? So we're going to address any skin issues. We're going to talk about your skin goals, and I'm going to educate you about your skin. So that's number one when it comes to facials. But with the energy healing facial, we're also going to be addressing, I like to just say we're addressing your nervous system, because that's what it really comes to when it comes to these very relaxing, stimulating practices that we're using during the facial. Is we're getting your body into a state of relaxation to where it can continue to heal itself and self-regulate. And self-regulation, you will see improvements with your skin, because your skin, of course, it's your largest organ, and it correlates directly with your nervous system.
Yes. Perfectly said.
Yeah. And we also show you a lot of practices that you can take home with you
home.
too.
Yeah. We give like little kind of write-ups afterwards of at-home rituals that you can continue. We talk about like, we give them affirmations to focus on. We give them massage techniques. We give them dietary recommendations on what we think they should incorporate into their diet. Like we're giving a whole write-up here.
Yeah. And that's why we say like the 90-minute energy healing facial is our holistic facial, because we're not just covering your skin, we're covering everything. Literally as everything. A whole. And that's what holistic means.
Yeah. That has to be my favorite service, I think.
I know.
I love that one.
It's really fun.
Like we've said before, services are an energy exchange, meaning you're face-to-face with someone, you're touching them, you're performing a service on them. We're like almost charging like them to feel confident and beautiful as we're doing the service.
Because
like that energy is coming out of us.
That's our intention.
Yeah.
Now there is the other foot where one of us could be having like a bad day, right? And I've caught myself doing this only really once, where I was having a really bad day. I was in a bad mood. I literally spent my entire morning crying. Like, I came in, I had a full book that day, and I was dreading it. Okay, my mindset was just not there, and that was problem number one. I didn't check my mindset. I didn't sit down and have a moment for myself and cleanse my energy. So my energy was very chaotic, upsetting. And my clients picked up on it so fast. Like, I could fake a smile and they'd be like, girl, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like they know. And to be kind of having that heavy energy onto somebody, because they're laying there with me for hours, like they feel it. And then they're going to carry that with them outside of the treatment room. And that's not what you want.
That literally defeats the purpose of like what we're doing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, they're coming to feel better. They're coming to get a service to feel better, to feel more energetic and charged and beautiful and confident. Like, it literally defeats the purpose. So I feel like we've talked about this in the past, of having like an item that you put on that like puts you in work mode or puts you in go mode. Like,
switch your mindset.
You need to be able to hit that like a light switch. Like, I'll be crying in the car, come in, nobody has a single clue, because I'm just like, whoop, work mode, like, who knows? So, and I know that can be toxic, like, long term, if you're dealing with like a lot of shit, basically.
You gotta deal with that outside of work.
But deal with it outside, your clients, at the end of the day, they're paying you for a service, but they're also paying you for an experience, and you can't be putting negative stuff on them when they're coming in. They're paying you, like, come on.
And it's crazy. It's just so easy to do. That's why you really have to check yourself before you start your services.
You have to be really aware of it, like, really aware of it. I don't really ever, like, complain to my clients about stuff. If anything, I'm like, let me give you some tea, girl, but it's not like...
For entertainment purposes.
Yeah, for entertainment purposes. Exactly. I think part of this, a way that you can check your own energy is, one, just, like, being present with yourself, knowing yourself, but also doing deep breathing, like you said. You can find some guided deep breathing, but also literally just like be in touch with your breath and just try to slow your heart rate down. Also cleansing the space, whether that's with selenite, sage, Palo Santo, like your brain, like it can be anything. But I like to cleanse the space in the very, very beginning of my day and try to kind of walk through and just like
and having like a setup ritual is really important. It gets your mindset right. You get your treatment room in check, and you are ready and prepared mentally and physically for your client.
And then last thing I do before to like get my energy right is just to like try to set an intention for the day. Like, some days it might be get through the day is my intention, like just get through it. But other days it might be like challenging yourself to do something, challenging yourself to learn something, whatever the case may be. But setting an intention, I look at it almost like just setting like a goal for yourself for the day. Just
something to just focus on that you know is going to make you better in the long run.
On the flip side, sometimes the energy that's coming in is beyond your control.
Right. And we're talking about clients coming in. And you having to bear their energy.
Yes, because that you don't have much control over. Right. Aside from setting the boundaries and all of that. But that can be tough. How to brush off a bad energy exchange is like a skill. It's definitely a skill. And it takes time.
It does.
But a lot of them are similar to actually cleansing, in like prepping and cleansing and checking your energy. A lot of the like cleansing rituals afterwards to get the energy off are going to be somewhat similar. Like, deep breaths are always good. We're always going to recommend deep breaths. My recommendation, if you have a bad client that's stressing you out or like whatever the case may be, take some sage and cleanse the shit out of the room.
Yes, after they leave.
Top to bottom, corner to corner. Adios. That is important. Also, if you're in between clients and like you have a client in your room already and you just had like a crazy experience or like a super negative reaction or whatever, take a second to yourself. Know your safe space. Like, mine is the bathroom. I'm going to the bathroom and I'm locking the door for a second. I'm just sitting there. Like, I didn't even have to pee. I'm just sitting there for a second, doing some deep breaths, whatever. But find your safe space and know when to disappear.
Right. You might be thinking like, oh, I don't want to keep my client waiting even more than they have been. But for you to carry that energy into your next client is worse than making them wait just another minute. Like, just take a minute for yourself and it'll be 100% worth it.
And odds are they're on their phone. They're not even paying attention.
Exactly.
Like,
they don't know. They think you peeing.
Yeah,
you know?
it doesn't matter. Another thing is, like, talk to your team, talk to your friends about it. Like, talk to people that understand and just, like, vent about it real quick, laugh about it, try to make light of the situation.
Yeah, and we're very privileged to have, like, coworkers here that are very receptive. Like, if we have to vent for a minute, they're receptive. They're like, okay, girl, I hear you. Let's get back into it. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's figure it out. Another thing is, like, I like to write things down and, like, either tear them up, burn them. Like, I feel like it just, like, gets it out of my brain.
Letting go.
Release that shit. Another thing, if you don't want to do that and you're not, like, a writer, is to what you were saying about, like, before you go to sleep, like, run through the experience, like run through the conversation.
Like a camera reel, though.
Literally visualize it.
From start to finish. And then once that ending point is there, it's just gone.
You visually just like visualize it just shooting out of your brain like it's gone.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember. That can help too. And then
what a trauma response.
I know. I'm like, that works. That's so awful. But it works. It works. And then lastly is just set future boundaries. So, like, with that client specifically, like, communicate to them. Maybe if it's becoming a trending topic that they're doing that to you, communicate with them, like, hey, girl, like, let's keep the trauma dumping to a minimum. You can say,
like, hey, like, I'm sorry. I feel like that you are going through something, but I want you to know, like, you're coming into a safe space that I want you to relax in. You just gotta talk them into being calmer when they come in. But it's but you have to make it sound like it's their benefit.
That's the hard part.
It's not
it's
for
their
us,
choice.
even though it is.
Yeah.
It's their benefit to come in here and just, like, chill out.
Yeah. And I'm down for a trauma dump, but
yeah, at the end of the day, if you have done everything to kind of, like, accommodate and make that client feel better, but they're just not, girl, you gotta just break up with them.
Yeah.
You're like, look, I can't. I'm not the lash tech for you.
Yeah.
There's one out there. It's not me.
It's not me. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be comfortable with that, though. That's tough.
It is. It's really hard, but you got to do what you got to do to protect your energy.
Yep. Protect that energy.
So
we're gonna finish off with
it's
a little game time. This is gonna be a similar game that we played before. We're gonna do a little this or that. It's gonna be nice, spiritual edition. Gonna be nice and quick. Play along with us if you're listening, and let us know what you would choose in this or that.
All right. So first, this is a pretty simple one: amethyst or rose quartz.
I'm a rose quartz girl.
I'm an amethyst girl.
I knew you were going to say that.
You know what's so funny? My car's name is Amethyst.
I know.
So amethyst is a protection crystal, and then rose quartz is like a love and abundance crystal.
Sage or Palo Santo?
I'm a sage girl.
Yeah, I think I like sage better, but
Palo Santo smells, like, the smells are very different too.
They're very different.
I love the smell of Palo Santo, but I like the practice of saging more.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, yoga or meditation?
I love both. I feel like I'm gonna say yoga because I like do meditation in yoga, so I think it encompasses
Me
both.
too. Yeah, I would say yoga too because I like having my mind in tune with my body and, like, movement. I like that. And you've been a little Pilates girl recently.
Yeah,
Pilates is like yoga on crack.
Literally. But that's good too. Like that puts me in a more high energetic meditation, but it's still like a meditation.
Yeah, I feel like just physically sitting there and meditating is like a calming, diffuse, about to go to bed, and yoga can really stimulate and like energize you.
Yeah, it's a whole experience. If you haven't tried like a yoga class, a Pilates class, even like a meditation class, you should definitely try one if you're listening. It's so much fun, and it's just cool experience. Like, if you hate it, you hate it, but it's just cool to try. Morning ritual or night ritual?
This one's really hard. I personally, I want a morning ritual, but I just cannot. So I'm going to say night ritual because my sleep is very important to me, and there's a certain like routine I have to do in order to get my mind calm for the nighttime. And I feel like I'm just so much more refreshed in the morning because of it.
I would say morning ritual because I'm definitely more of a morning person. When the night comes around, I just want to like fall into bed and
Yeah, that's your ritual. It's just laying in bed.
yeah, that's my ritual.
That's my ritual in the morning.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
we're
lay in
like
bed
flipped.
and hit snooze 10 times.
Same thing,
That's
but
my ritual.
flipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say morning, just because I don't know. I feel like the sun, like rising with the sun, it just feels like ritualistic. But I know, but to you, it's probably like rising with the moon feels ritualistic.
Exactly. Yeah.
Manifest journaling or vision board?
I love a good vision board. Like, even though I want to do vision boards kind of quarterly, I feel like
too.
that
I
would
feel
be
like that would be
fun. Right now I only do them annually, but I love a vision board because it just a visual representation of what you want your life to look like and like the goals that you have is just so like surreal. It kind of makes it more tangible. You can see it, and it's something that you can hold and you can feel, and
Like you can like run your finger on the picture. And
it's like you're coming to me soon.
Yeah. I would probably agree, because I also feel like I incorporate like the manifest journaling into the vision board. Like I'll write like I'll put little stickers with like words or whatever.
Exactly.
Vision boards are my fave.
Yeah. Manifest journaling is amazing too. And you can literally do it whenever.
Last one.
Astral projection or lucid dreaming. This is such a fun topic.
I know. I feel like I wish we could talk about this more.
And we'll kind of explain what they are after we give our answers too, for people who don't know.
Okay. I would pick astral projection.
Oh, really?
What would you pick?
I would pick lucid dreaming.
Okay. So I'll just tell everyone what it is if you don't know. So lucid dreaming is where you are in a dream, but you are in your body and you are conscious that you're dreaming, so you're able to somewhat control the dream and be like, you can make decisions. Like you can be like, all right, I'm gonna do this.
Game.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna ask this. Like it's literally like you're playing a video game.
Yeah, exactly. And your point of view is like you.
Is
like
your point of view. Yeah. Astral projection is where you are not in your physical body. You actually leave your physical body, and your soul, your orb, whatever you prefer to call it, literally like floats out of your body. You can see yourself sleeping there, laying
from a
there,
bird eye view,
and you can travel in the astral world. It sounds crazy, but like it's real.
It's a thing, and you can do it like while you're sleeping, as if it is like a dream, but it's a little bit separate from what a dream is.
Yeah, it's like more reality, but it's in a dream state.
Yeah,
so,
but I honestly I believe that dreaming is like the astral world.
I do too.
Your dream state is floating in different worlds, which is why you can be in dreams where like the environment's familiar, or you can be in a dream where you have no idea where you are. Like
totally.
it's cool.
They say in like astral projection, like if you're just astral projecting, you can only necessarily travel places that you've been before, like that you can visualize and smell and like whatever. So that's why a lot of people astral project in like their childhood homes or like whatever, because it's like you visually can remember things. But there's some really, really cool stories on both lucid dreaming and astral projection that if you guys are interested in these topics, like there's a ton of cool stories.
YouTube is a great source to learn about this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's so fascinating. And there's practices that you can do to actually like
work on
it on command too.
Yeah, it's not just like a gift that like some people just like have. Like it's like, well, some people do, but like you kind of have to work at it and like play with it. The biggest recommendation I have is dream journaling. Keep a journal right next to your bed, under your pillow, whatever, so that as soon as you wake up, you can write your dream down, write as many details, draw out pictures, whatever, and just smush it under your bed, go back to sleep. That way you don't forget it. And that trains your brain to be conscious of what you're dreaming while you're dreaming. It just triggers like that sensory in your brain to start remembering what you dream, and then that is allowing the consciousness.
Yeah, having control over what you do, literally like a video game.
Yeah. So if you guys are listening and want to try, tap in.
Honestly, yes.
See you in the astral world.
Honestly. All right. So to end our amazing episode 14, which this was so fun. We haven't done like a spiritually episode yet. So more to come for sure.
Yes.
We are going to end it with our little affirmation card pool. Hopefully we get a new one. We've been picking like the same cards. Mind you, I shuffle the deck every time we pull, and we always pull the same thing.
I want to get a new deck, but I just love this deck.
I know, it's so cute. Well, we got
I've never gotten this one. Today, I will think about all that I am instead of all that I am not.
Oh,
I've never even seen this one.
that's beautiful.
So pretty. I love the artwork.
Pretty. Follow us on Instagram to see what these cards look like, by the way, because I post them after every episode. I pulled one. It says, I have the power to uplift everyone around me.
Oh, I love that. It's true.
Per.
Okay, so thank you guys for tuning in once again. I hope you enjoyed this spiritual energy vibe that we did today. This is so fun to talk about for us. So if you guys liked it, make sure you let us know, and we will continue on these topics.
Yes, and don't forget to check out the Esty Besties podcast on Instagram and TikTok. And if you want to add to the conversation, please DM us. It would be so much fun.
Please, yeah. If anyone's listening that ever wants to be a guest or like call in, come whatever too, definitely let us know. I feel like that would be fun to bring people on.
We love interacting with you guys.
Yes.
All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next episode. Have an amazing day or night, depending on what time you're listening.
Bye.
Bye. Love you, besties.